everyone, good morning. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying this event. So, as per the schedule, we have the vendor show right now. And first of all, I would like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Echo 3D, for sponsoring us. They provide great build real-time 3D AR VR apps which you can use in your apps. If you want to know more about them, just go on echo3d.co. You will see their whole page and see what they are featuring about, like build, manage, deliver and analyze your app within seconds. Okay, and for more information you can click on the start now for free. If you have any question regarding the Echo 3D or need any assistance, you can check out the Echo 3D help channel. There will be our team and the Echo 3D team that will help you there. So for today's topic, like in the mentor show, we will be first discussing about the blockchain. Okay, so first of all, I am Rishabh Raghavendra, the lead organizer, and I am also a blockchain developer and being in this phase as a freelancer for about 1 year now. Okay, and I have worked on various projects and participated in various hackathon in the blockchain industry like ETH Global. Okay, and have won prizes in the ETH Global, ETH India hackathons too. So let's discuss about what is blockchain. So what is blockchain? In simple terms, if I say the blockchain, you can think of like it's a linked list. Okay, there will be a blocks of data which are interconnected with each other. Okay, every block will have around 500 or 300 transaction. So each block having a verified transaction that will be verified by the miners. You even heard of like Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining. So actually they are what they are doing is like verifying the transactions. The transaction we do, they just verify that, and when they successfully verify a transaction, like yeah, that's a valid transaction, they include that transaction in the block, and then the block is like uh, implemented in the network, pushed in the network, and each block get connected to each other. So like as I have said, each block have thousands of transactions. For example, Bitcoin have 500 verified transactions in a block. In a block of Bitcoin, you can say there will be a 500 valid transaction. Okay, and Ethereum has approx 380 transactions per block. Okay, so like a little bit of extra knowledge, like these transaction need, when we need to verify the, like for as a miner, when we need to verify the transaction, we need a lot of power, like as you have said, like seen in movies, or even some of you are doing Bitcoin mining even. So we need hashing power. Okay, so what that hashing power means, that we need to solve a mathematical problem. Okay, if we solve that mathematical problem correctly, then we will be able to verify the transaction. If not, we will not be able to verify that transaction. And we need to verify the transaction. For that, people used to build their PC, but like buying lots of GPUs and all that. Okay, so this is for now, like require lots of energy. Okay, it needs power. So for now, the one of the disadvantage of blockchain, you can say that it need lots of energy consumption, because it's a huge machine that it has about 10 8 GPUs which are power hungry machines. Okay, so this is a problem in blockchain right now, and like Ethereum 2.0 is coming out in a few years, and like it will be solving this issue. Okay, so why blockchain? Why blockchain is so trendy? Why everyone talks about it, and why everyone says that it's the future of the transaction or payment system? So the blockchain, actually the core features of blockchains are like this: decentralized. It is decentralized. No one governs it. no one has power on it to disturb the network. Immutable. One if you have done any transaction, no has the power to change that transaction, is immutable. Distributed ledgers. Every node in the every participant in the network will have a list of transaction, like normal ledger with have a list of transaction, verified transaction, no middleman required. I will talk about this last 2 points in more detail in the upcoming slides. Okay, so what is decentralized nature? Decentralized nature, as you can see, no one is the boss. Okay, there is no one is the boss. Like for example, if I want to send a payment to my friend using Google Pay or Paytm, what I have to do, open their app and send payment through them. Okay, so how my payment goes through, like I initiate the transaction, my request goes to the bank server, and where they check my transaction, then they forward my transaction to my friends, like yeah, this is a valid transaction and the money can be transferred to my friend's wallet. Okay, so this is a centralized network because we are depending on the bank. If for example, for any reason, banks want to block my transaction, any reason, like they think like I have not proper documentation or something, I have don't have proper documents, they can block my transaction. They can say no, you don't have any proper documents. Even they can say no, you can't have a bank account here, we cannot process it. Okay, so it a centralized network, you have to depend on someone. Okay, and that someone has whole power to govern your transaction and govern yourself. Okay, so what is a decentralized network here? In decentralized network, no one is the boss, you can proceed the transaction. Okay, and no one has the power to block your transaction until and unless it's a valid transaction. Okay, in blockchain technology especially, they don't require any documentation. Okay, you don't need any personal ID or proofs or something like that to create a wallet and make transactions. Okay, just in a 2 or 3 clicks, you can make a MetaMask wallet and have cryptos in that, and you can transfer it. No one can block you from doing that. Okay, so that's the nature of decentralized network. Everyone is free, everyone is treated equally. Okay. Okay, so what's the distributed ledgers? As you can see in the figure here each dot is a node that is participating in the network. Each node, as you can take it as like miners. Okay, those are mining on the network. So when we make a transaction, okay, make a request for transaction, the transaction goes to a miner, then miners validate that transaction, then that like transaction also goes to another miner, that also validates that, then goes to another miner, then he also validates that. After some time, when the transaction is validated by the most of the uh, like population or miners nodes, that transaction is taken as valid, and that transaction is then put into the in a block. Okay, that block has all the verified transactions. Okay, so as you can see, ledger, as you know what are ledgers are. Ledgers, as you can think of like a simple notebook in which you take care of your all your budget or something like that, like how much you have spent, like that. So it's a distributed ledger. Each node has a ledger in which it is mentioned like who has how many cryptos and who has like transferred how many to whom. For example, the ledger of this node is same as of ledger of this node, and this node ledger is same as of this node. Okay, there will be no difference. If for somehow this node corrupts and he forgets his ledger, okay, so taking the benefit of decentralized, since everyone having the same ledger, so he can also ask for a copy of that ledger. and take that and start working as before. Okay, so the benefit of that is distributed ledger is that everyone is having ledger. No one can has the power, all power, to like so anything, also make any transaction, any fraud transaction, also any fraud transaction in the network. Okay. Okay, this distributed ledger also enables the feature immutability nature of blockchain. Okay, if once a transaction is done and verified and put in the block in the network, then that transaction is not immutable. Okay, you cannot change that transaction. Like you cannot revert that transaction once it's done. Okay, no one can change that transaction in between. So it's immutable. It prevents fraudster from making frauds. Okay, maybe there is some node who is a frauder. Okay, he may include like fake transactions that are not valid transactions in the network. Okay, and pass it on. But since the majority of them are miners who play fearfully, okay, so they will object that the node is not mining properly, they are making fraud transactions. So everyone can complain about them and vote on them and can reject that node. Okay, so that's the power of decentralized and distributed ledger. We can quickly spot the fraud transaction here. Okay, due to its distributed nature, there is no need of middlemen to make transactions like banks. Due to its distributed nature, we don't need any middlemen like banks. Okay, we make a transaction. There is no need to go to bank and ask them to make that transaction so that we can proceed further. Yeah, you just make a um, transaction. Each node will verify that and include that transaction in the block. That's it. No one can object in between like you are making a wrong transaction. No one can stop you by making a transaction until and unless it's a valid transaction. Okay, so at the point of view from the developer perspective, so what is in it, why blockchain is beneficial for us? Okay, so first we look at the annual salary of blockchain developer in US. It $2 lakh. Okay, and one more thing I would like to include that most of the blockchain developer jobs are remote work. So you can work remotely, okay, from your home, from your town, everywhere from. It's not mandatory from like you work from office. Okay. So like $2 lakh in US is higher than any other industry in the computer science. Okay, it's a very trendy job and it has lots of opportunity is for newcomers also. It's amazing, but how can I learn the blockchain and get a job? One thing I have noticed in my career right now, if you have made like one or two projects, you can get a job in blockchain. Okay, if you have made one or two project in blockchain, then you can get a job. It's very easy to get a job in the blockchain industry as a developer because the demand is high for the blockchain developer but the supply is very low. So the demand is high, you can easily get a job in the blockchain industry and you can also get a fair sum of salary. Okay, so like the main part of the ppt, the session resources for becoming a blockchain developer. Okay, so in the blockchain development we mainly need for our starting stage now, it should be especially mastered in front end. Okay, in front end we should know React.js at least. Yeah, mostly we use React.js or AngularJS also work. Angular. Okay, so you have to master that front end in part. Okay, and any library like React.js, Vue or Angular. Okay, you can learn it from your favorite any YouTube channel from anywhere. Okay, so let's speak about the backend. So there is no need of backend right now. Okay, actually the whole backend is the blockchain only. Okay, blockchain is like a database you can say, because we are storing the all the transaction in a block. We can say it's like a distributed database. Okay, it's distributed between among different nodes. Okay, so we don't need a backend here, we need only front end because we need users to interact with the network. Users can't directly interact with the blockchain network. We need a way UI to let user easily navigate and make transaction and interact with the network. So that's why we need front end. Okay, second thing, let's jump on the like how to become a blockchain developer. Like we can see here Gitcoin roadmap. I will link all these links in the description. Okay, I will provide all these links in the description as well as in the announcement channel too. So like Gitcoin roadmap, as I can say, it's a very popular roadmap here. If you want to become a DeFi and a Web3 developer, so here is the roadmap. You can see here. So firstly, you have to learn about smart contracts. If you don't know about what is smart contracts, I can say like it's it's actually a program which runs on the blockchain network. Okay, like Ethereum. So it helps to make transaction between two parties based on some conditions. Okay, if you want some conditions on your transaction, like if you make me transaction of $10, then only I will give you this like product. It's that kind of like. So if you want to make some transaction on basis of some conditions, then we can put in the smart contracts. It's like a real world contract that we have. Okay, so it's have all the steps you needed to become a blockchain developer. Okay, like first step is study about smart contracts, like basics like web 2.0, Python, JavaScript. Git step 2, build tools, IDE, remix, IDE, build tools, Solidity, languages, frameworks, Brownie, Truffle, Hard Hat, like all this stuff, security, that all the knowledge you need to become a blockchain developer. Okay, DeFi implementation and etc. You can go through this roadmap, and you can also get a links more about like regarding these topics here. Okay, it's a very famous roadmap here, and it's have received $6,000 lifetime funding till now. Second thing, we have this YouTube channel Eat the Blocks. Okay, you can go here. He's a great developer, he is a blockchain developer. He like post videos regarding like blockchain, like how to become a blockchain developer, different types of security issues in blockchain that we need to take care of while developing smart contracts. Okay, like different kinds of, he also give tutorials on different kinds of technology used only in the blockchain industry, like Ethereum name service. Okay, some six smart contract best practices, tokens, Solidity tips and tricks, all of that type of stuff. Okay, second we have DAP University. He is also a famous YouTube channel and YouTuber. he pro- he posts like tutorials regarding like how to build this dev web3 portfolio ideas, build Amazon web3 version. And he also builds lots of like projects, demo and like that. 50 tools you need to master blockchain in 2022, airdrops, everything that you need for your development. Okay, he has great tutorials and like making web3 apps live. Okay, second is the Solidity for beginners. This video is known as the best video to learn Solidity in YouTube till date. Let me show you that. This one, Solidity blockchain and smart contract course, beginner to expert Python tutorial by Patrick Collins. Okay, so you can check that. He will take you from beginners to expert. Okay, he will teach you how to deploy smart contract, how to write properly a smart contract, how to build a project, a full stack project in web3. Okay, like he also has a project here. I can show you in the timeline, full stack DeFi project. Okay, staking project here. he will teach you how to build this DeFi project. Okay, so it's a great resource. It's a great video to run from about smart contracts and all of that. Okay, so second thing is the most important thing in life. Take your knowledge in practice. Okay, practice a lot and take part in blockchain related hackathons like ETH Global or ETH India. They keep on happening every year frequently. You can also check Defolio's platform. There are also lots of blockchain related hackathons all over India, all over the world is happening. So you should take part in that also. Okay, you will learn a lot about that, and that hackathon will take you one step forward, one step ahead to become a blockchain developer. Okay, so that's very important to take part in hackathons. Okay, so like blockchain demand is booming, but what are the scopes actually? So the blockchain scope, as you know, in the finance industry, you have made discovered right now, like spotted. So like in finance industry, you can say that like we can have a like app for making transactions like a Paytm app. Okay, like clone of a Paytm with deals with the Web3. Okay, that will be making transactions on the blockchain network, and that will not be governed by any government or a company. Anyone can create a wallet, anyone can make a payment. Just scan the QR code, make a payment. Okay, so it's can be a game changer in the finance industry. In healthcare industry, in supply chain demand, it can also play a major role. Okay, and in the metaverse too, as you can see, like there are the lots of talks about the metaverse. So blockchain, the backbone of metaverse is the blockchain. Okay, so blockchain versus VR is VR, virtual reality, bringing the metaverse. You okay, and that's not enough. There's lots of scopes in the blockchain can be used everywhere, and still now people are trying to use blockchain in many other industries. Okay, so like that's the thing, and like we have all lots of scope in the blockchain technology. Okay, so you can explore that, and like people are still exploring it in artificial intelligence like that. So like now I will like to hand over my to my friend Paritos. He will talk more about the metaverse. Okay. So Paritos, take on.
Hello guys, this is Paitosh Srivastava from the HackMoreish team. Uh, Previously you heard Rishabh Raghavan about blockchain and other technologies. One part of blockchain is the technology of metaverse. I'm sure you must have heard about what is metaverse these past couple of years. We have heard, it seems like we have heard a lot of things about metaverse. But when you talk about metaverse, there exactly aren't many info available on the internet because it is relatively new technology in the market. Well, so that's why I'm here to tell you about what exactly is metaverse. I'm not going to go into the details of how metaverse works or what is technology required or the tech stack needed to support or to create metaverse, but I'm going to give you the introductory knowledge so that you can get started and have some basic idea about the metaverse. First of all, let's talk about what exactly is metaverse. Well, when we talk about metaverse, this term has been passed around so much that I feel like it depends on the company that uses this term. But broadly speaking, the technologies company refer to when they talk about metaverse is they include virtual reality into the present reality. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, I'm sure you must have seen Avatar movies and the movies like Gamer 69. These are the movies that have somehow built the idea into the child's or into the kids these days that okay, there is a world other apart from the real world where they can do anything and everything. So that's what we aspire when we say we are going to create a metaverse. Meta itself, it stands for it usually characterized by the persistent virtual worlds that continue to exist even when you are not paying. So what we mean is, I'm sure You have played a lot of games, you buy characters, you buy skins, but somehow you get restricted around that game only. You buy skins, you can only use that skins in that game. You can't cross platform use it. What do I mean by that? What I mean is you can't use the Call of Duty skins when playing GTA 5, right? So this is what overcomes when we talk about metaverse. This is what we tackle. So why is it that we are just uh, hearing about metaverse and not few years ago? Well, it's because I'm sure you all have heard that Facebook has changed its names to Meta. This happened this March only. Why is that? Well, Facebook has been actually working on this for quite a while now. They have been developing and putting their money into it for over years, and they have put around billions of dollars into it. Well, Facebook is not the only one. We have Microsoft, who just bought Activision Blizzard for $70 billion. Well, why invest so much in the company that's just for the gaming? On the layer, it may seem like it's they are just trying to get into the gaming sector, but not, that's not the all. That's not the whole picture. When we talk about gaming industry, we know that gaming industry is as close to as anything when we talk about metaverse. Gaming is the only industry I can confidently say that it is actually the closest to the reality of metaverse. There are other companies like Roblox, they are also investing billions of dollars into this. Then we have Snapchats. I'm sure you must have used a lot of filters in the Snapchats. That's the part of augmented reality. I know you guys have used dog filters over your face here and there. So that's the part of augmented reality. So these are the puzzles of a bigger picture. They somehow connect. Well, what the bigger companies want is they somehow want to connect all these pieces together to form a big, massive picture of a metaverse. Well, there are other companies also, Nvidia. I'm sure you gamers have heard about it. Adobe Systems, although they do not directly involve in the metaverses, but they don't directly involve themselves into metaverse, but they do somehow provide back-end technologies to the companies who are actually actively trying to get into that sector. And of course, then we have Google. Google is everywhere, so I don't think we have to talk about it. They do everything. So, but now the question arises: why invest so much money into this? I just mentioned how Facebook invests billions of dollars and how Microsoft has spent around $70 billion. But why is it? What is it that they see and we can't quite get grasp of it? Well, when we talk about metaverse, you can actually imagine as like we are creating another universe itself, sort of like Matrix. So what does it mean? Uh, if it becomes successful, we can kind of say that we are moving towards becoming God itself. Well, I know it's a big stretch, but that's the first step, right? The first step is to think big, and that's what we are doing right now. Well, but of course, when you invest so much money, you want return on it. It's not like you can just put your money and then just let it vanish away, right? So there has been some data, of course. I know you all have heard about NFTs, how they go for around $69 million, and how NFT market is booming right now. So to some anomaly, there's a fashion industry which is around $1.2 trillion industry a year, and in 10 years time experts believe that the digital cloth market will be around the same, and if not more actually, because I know you have heard about the crazy auctioning, right, where the single picture gets sold for around millions of dollars. It's ridiculous, I know. And again, then of course we have cinematic industries. We know we have all watched Endgame of that. Think about it. Do you want to watch it sitting in a couch, or do you want to actually live the experience? Do you want to actually be involved in that multiverse of madness? So this is what we are talking about. This is the scale we are imagining things. And obviously we have good old gaming sector. No one wants to just sit on a computer and play Call of Duty, right? We want to be in that world. We want to hold the gun. So of course this sector is the fastest growing sector. Facebook has invested a lot of money into it. Their products like Oculus, and they're already becoming very successful, and you can somehow find it in every mall these days. But of course, with every technology, there comes a potential danger, right? Of course, when you have avatar in physical or virtual world, uh, meta world, you get you get somehow exposed to this danger where someone can easily copy your avatar and portray you as yourself. And of course, it's a great danger for anyone who does not want to get his reputation ruined. And then you have cyberbullying. We know that even with the normal social media, cyberbullying is way too stressful, and it's actually suicidal. So metaverse will actually enhance that experience, because now brain gets tricked into thinking like, okay, we are actually in that world. So the effect will be on much larger scale. And then of course we have the normal social media effect. What do I mean by social media effect? Social media effect, you can say, is like when they post things how great their lives are, but in reality they are actually just as depressed as you are. They are same as pathetic. So they are gonna portray themselves as the most happiest person. Of course, it's gonna create a ripple effect around them, and everyone will start to believe that they are the only one who's sad, and it will happen to everyone. And of course, then we have the problem of supreme entity. When we talk about it, let's say, let's think about the search engine. The only search engine we talk about these days is Google. No one uses Yahoo anymore, no one uses Bing anymore. So Google has become like a supreme search engine, and same will apply to the metaverse. So the company that creates the metaverse will have the full power over that reality, and it will actually become like a monarchical form of government where they set the rules, they create the laws, and they can even break them because it's their rules. So, but also when we talk about metaverse, it is way far from where we stand right now. But when we talk about metaverse, how exactly it is different from any avatar-based game, right? Because there are games where you can do pretty much all the stuff now, where you can create stuff. There's a game like Minecraft where you can create your own world. But the thing is, of Minecraft and Roblox is you can't actually bring your house to the other platforms. Like you can't bring the house you have built on Minecraft to the Fortnite. Metaverse will do that for you. And nowadays, I know many people don't actually see the value in FTs. Like, why are we paying millions of dollars for just a piece of JPEG picture, right? But in Metaverse, it will be more valuable because now you're actually in that world. So the images that you bought will be there for you to see it, where you can actually pretend that you have a physical copy of it, even though you are itself virtual. So now, of course, we have talked about a lot of things. We have talked about a lot of stuffs of how great potential this metaverse holds. But of course, we know that this is just, we are at the very beginning stage. Technology is at the very nascent state right now. We can't really say that, okay, in next 5 years we'll be living like Avatar, or we'll be going toe to toe with Thanos itself, right? So, well, Microsoft and Facebook are actively investing in the devices. They have created many devices. They are putting lots of money into holograms and virtual reality, augmented reality devices. And in some way, we are actually already there. We have stepped on the horizon of what metaverse will actually look like. We have started to see what metaverse will be what metaverse will become over coming years. And of course there are some things which we don't know when they'll come into their reality. Like we don't know how much time it will take for holograms to actually become a real thing. So of course there are many things, there are many rules and regulations, there are many physical challenges. Of course some things physics don't apply. We know we can't just teleport from one place to another right now. There are some physics laws which we have to avoid. So there are things many companies are taking care of, and I'm sure one way or another it's around the same page like when internet was around in 1990s. So we are at the beginning stage of that reality. So that's it from my side. Thanks for tuning in.
Sad? Okay, Rishabh and Paritosh, you have a great presentation on metaverse and blockchain. It was very nice for us to hear about these topics from you guys. So I'm Shubham Verma. I'm going to tell you more about game developer and how to become game developer and what is a game developer. So as we know that game developing is like a dream of every developer because everyone wants to make their dream into reality through a game okay, so let's go to next slide. So the contents I'm going to explain in this game development is it is what is a game developer, type of game devs, what we need to become a game developer, is programming necessary for a game dev, most famous game dev engines, and do we have a career as a game developer. Okay guys, so let's start with what is a game developer. Basically, game developer is an art of creating games and describes the design, development, and release of a game. It may involve concept of generation, design, build, and test and release while you create a game. It is important to think about the game mechanics, reward player engagement, and level design. As we know, in game there is not one or two things. There are many things like sound effects, graphics, and like that we need a designer for a game to build. So basically, game is to present dream into reality. So let me introduce myself as a game developer. So like what I have done in past few years as a game developer. So my first game that I built with a Pygame, using Pygame like Pygame module and with Python. It was of like there was a spaceship which, like as you can see in the video, it's not so like it took me like 1 week. First I learned about Python. Like you should learn one programming to like start a game. So here is a little demo about like my game, first game that first graphical user interface game, and I have made many games in like terminal games, like it's was like Minesweeper, Tic Tac Toe, and like this various games. So this was my this game name was Space Invader, and this was my first game which I built using Python, Pygame, and a GUI. So and this is and now my second game. I have like developed three GUIs games. So this is my second GUI game, which is a runner SV game. My like I just named it by myself. It's it's simple that there is a character and so there is a character and there's obstacles, so we have to jump from obstacle and or dash. So these yes, I want to share my experience on these games also. They were like very difficult, and it took this game took me like a week to build, and I was just about to give up on this game because I was facing very much difficulty, and so just I just just I just build the game, however, and it was a difficult. You need like you need to focus on that game so we can complete a game. So and my last game, which is like more famous game, and I have a link and site of this also. Here is my developer portfolio of game, and this is basically a platform based game where you can see. So like I was showing this because like what games I have developed in this in current year. So you can see there is a small person just kicking and punching around, and like there is a level. So let's go ahead. So if you want to check out my uh, uh, like background, like you want to check out my code, you can go you can go to the Google Drive link here. Like there will be description with containing a Google Drive link, and my my like my level industry game link in description and comment section, announcement section in Discord. So this was my work. So let's continue our. So you can see, yeah, there is a game developer, my like Google Drive. You will, if you click on the link, you will see like level industry by is in this folder. It contains basically game game code and gameplay, and this also Python terminal games, like what I have built with using Python language. And runner SB game, as you saw, that dodging obstacles, dashing, and Space Invader, that was my first game. Okay, so let's continue with our content. That was like type of games. Basically there are two types of game. First, indie game, and second is triple A game. So what is indie game devs and triple A game devs? It's like, it's not a like very difficult definition. Indie games is simple, like just I have built with my own design, own thoughts, like only single person is involved behind the game. Okay, and triple A game is a whole company, whole setup is there for triple A games. You know, EA Sport is a triple A game companies, and GTA 5 is a triple game, and COD like Call of Duty is a triple game. So these are the two types of game: indie game and triple A games. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Like what we need to become a game developer. So like we first need to like study video games. And now how do you study video games? You just do nothing, just play video game and see that in that video game what you are what you are impressed about that video games. That might be like any attack or any reward. There can be many things that you like. So first just you have to observe and play video games, and next earn a bachelor degree. That's normal BTech bachelor degree. Like, okay, develop a maths and physics skills. Yes, we need maths and physics skills in game. For those out there, those are weak in maths and physics, yeah, you guys need a little bit of maths to become an indie game developer, basically. Because in AAA game developer, there's like a whole team who can focus on like uh, background song and sprites or and graphics. Like there are many things about like in AAA games you can pursue with career. Okay, so like in gain technical skills, learn storytelling strategies. Like if you are building a game, there should be a story, because everybody likes a good story. You can see like uh, Dead by Daylight. It has like story, like there is a one zombie like or monster which kills everyone. So there are a team who tries to escape, and there is a monster who kills everyone. So in given time, if team escapes, then they all win, and or if monster kills all the part survival, so there are the game is over. So it is very simple, you can see. And like in storytelling, there you can see Walking Dead game is very famous in storytelling, like by Telltale Games, and it is very popular. So story literally matters in any game to encourage or to make interest of a player. You can build a game developer portfolio, like you have seen my uh, game developer portfolio by itch.io I have made. So like something like that, build a game developer portfolio, or you can make your own website if you are web developer also. So and get an entry level game developer position, or like by you can how you can get a entry level game developer position. First thing, you can build projects, so you can showcase them, like I have built these games, so you can like you can hire me, I am a good in game. So like that you have to make some entry level game developers, not very graphical game, just simple game. So like company can know that you have a basic knowledge of game. Okay, so next question is programming necessary for game dev? Let me make it like short and clear. That yes, if you want to become an indie game developer, programming is little necessary. And for AAA games, programming is also necessary, because what is basically programming in game? Okay, let's talk about like what is programming, what a program does in games. program does, you saw that that character was jumping, and saw that my character was jumping, and how the height and the obstacle time, you can see this background. It's all I have programmed, like it's all programming only. Ki, like there should be this second of the time interval between these two obstacles, or like if I'm dashing, so how much long it should dash. So this is all programming only. And you can see in this level industry also that in how you can see this, you can see how it is coming, or like you can see here also how it this hammer is moving and how I'm punching, and it's all programming. So there are basically two kind of programming, like language one, and second is like geo programming, in which you can place your code or written code there and connect it with the line, making a tree. So yes, programming, there is not only programming in the game. If you want to become a indie game developer, there is not only programming in a game, but the best game designer do have a range of skills. It doesn't have to be programming. It could be some other game dev area like art or creative writing or user experience, like storytelling वगैरह. The best advice might be just to learn little bit of everything. Okay, learning everything that you can about all areas of game development will make you a better game designer, and will make you a more desirable candidate to get hired for next job opportunity at a professional game studios. So I think you might have got the point what I'm trying to say. So let's like move on to the next slide. So okay, this was all about how to make a game, how to like design a game, or what are types of game. But we need like some gaming engines to build a game. You need a gaming engine, because programming for you saw that my this okay, you saw this like level industry game, and this my PyCharm, this my Py game, this was built from scratch. So it is not built on a gaming engine, it's just built on an ID known as PyCharm using Python language. So it's a scratch game, so you can like you can't build every game like from scratch, coding everything and every part of game. So it will be difficult. So for that you need a gaming engine. uh, and this like I have this level industry game I've built with a gaming engine known as Godot. Godot is a free open source gaming engine, and it is very lightweight for your PC. If you want to start like a small gaming career or indie game career, you can go for Godot, Godot game, Godot game engine. Okay, it is very light and useful for small game developers, and it is useful for high game AAA developers also. So but it like it's carry very less weight on, does very less weight on like computer, so you can go with Godot. So so let me like go to my last point. So, and you if you want to like do heavy gaming, like you can go for CryEngine, Unreal, Unreal Engine, Unity Game Engine, Game Maker, Construct 2 or 3. They are basically two construct. One is 2 and another one is 3. For Construct 2 is for 2D game, or Construct 3 is for 3D game. And there is a Godot engine. These all are famous and easy to use. You just need like little bit determination about like understanding a UI, user interface of these gaming engines, and it is not that difficult to build a game. You just need focus and determination to like build a game, because sometimes it becomes very hard for to build a game. I was just about to give up on that level, not that level, that runner SV game. That it was really difficult for me, but I've just finished. One code was there in that runner SV obstacle one, that was not working. So I just programmed it again and make it work somehow, like by coding it again. So yeah, that was a difficult. It was like my end of career in game development, or starting the career in game development, because if that code was like if I was not able to build that line of code, then like I have just ended that that jumping game was also literally difficult for me to complete. So but yeah, I completed, and you can see me here making these level industry games, and So like, do we have a career in game dev? Of course we have, like, kind of excellent career in game dev. Video game developer help transform games from a concept to playable reality. They do this by coding visual elements, programming feature, and testing iteration until a game is ready for market. If you love video games and enjoy working with computers, a career in video game development can be immensely rewarding. Yes, it is immensely rewarding, and very, fun to develop. You can easily trick your mind to uh, you know make a game programming, for in a programming kind of line. You can easily trick your mind that you are not programming, you are not studying, you are basically playing a game. So it's very fun to build a game. But yeah, in another hand, it's difficult too. So uh, uh, this was the end of my slide, and thank you guys for this session. And this is the end. We will meet you in next session. That will be a quiz session. There will be a quiz uh, on the topics that you have heard, like blockchain, metaverse, and this game development. So you will be getting a quiz on these topics. So guys, all the best. Do your best in that quiz, and you will be getting an NFT airdrop. Okay, guys. So stay tuned and take care, guys. Thank you.